Hey everybody, it's Ozone. I am back and, well, I said I was going to be working on my gear and I'm here at the Blaze Farm to do just that. I've gotten quite a lot done, but there's still more to do, as you can tell, so we're just sitting here soaking up some experience in the meantime. And we do also have an Ender on the server, which does give experience at a faster rate. But I've had a few problems with that. It's a little out of the way, and I just kind of enjoy the blazes a little bit better. But this is definitely something I want to work on in this episode. I want one of these things right underneath my base so that I don't have to come here anymore, and I can just let it run and store up that experience as I continue to work on my armor. Because these things are just getting more and more expensive. Whew, 73, but look at that, protection 7. Yeah, I still need to get better protection on some of my other pieces of gear, but I mean, look at this one. 134 levels to add this. So it takes a lot of experience, and I think having my own mob grinder and own experience tank sounds like a really good idea. Now, in between episodes, I did work on making some new pickaxes, and look at that. Efficiency 9, Unbreaking 5. This has got Fortune 8, Boon of Earth, Efficiency 9, Unbreaking 6. Woo! Talk about overpowered tools. I wanted to get up to 10, but they got really, really expensive. That last book that I put on the fortune pick with all of that stuff took 434 levels to put that book on. It takes quite a bit. So it really gets so hard as you over-enchant your gear over and over and over again. But if you got something that can store up a lot of experience, well, 1,000 levels doesn't seem like that big of a stretch. But before starting any new projects, I really want to test out the efficiency of this pick. This pick has efficiency 9 on it, and it feels like I should be able to just insta-mine stuff. So let's go. It's actually not as good as I had expected. It's okay. I guess it is insta-mining the deep slate. It's really, really fast anyway. So but I expected just super duper crazy fast. Ooh, diamonds. With Fortune 8, I bet I get a bunch of diamonds from these guys too. But I don't really know because I've got my looting rock on and I'm getting all kinds of extra stuff. Plus, I'm getting extra stuff from this Boon of Earth, right? Ores may be found when mining stone, which is very similar to the Lucky Rock, which gives an extra chance of loot when mining. So, just all kinds of extra free stuff just from mining rocks. I love it. I guess this also gives me a chance to utilize a new tool that I'd found. A torch launcher. I kind of like it too, honestly. I think this was a reward from one of the quests, but nevertheless, I like it. We just light everything up. But anyway, with better light, yeah, I can see that I am insta-mining the deep slate. I'm not insta-mining this dark stone, though. It's surprising that it's still not insta-mining. But everything else is, and I'm certainly happy with that. Oh, very interesting. I was using my fortune pick, as evidenced by all of the minerals in my inventory, but I also have a whole bunch of raw ore blocks. This must be from the Boon of the Earth enchantment, where the Lucky Rock seems to give actual individual diamonds. Very interesting. I wonder if Boon of the Earth will duplicate the block every time I mine it? Oh, now I need to try this out and find out. All right, so I cleared out my inventory, and I've got this block of deep slate iron ore here, which I really have ignored. But if I mine this up, what do I get? Get the iron. And I don't seem to get anything else. Well, I'm sure the Boon of the Earth proccing is a random chance, and so that's always a possibility. Let's see if I can find something else. Oh, yeah, here's some silver. Let's do 2 blocks of silver. I got the silver ore, but I didn't get the individual ore blocks. Okay, now let's go for just some deep slate. What happens if I mine a whole bunch of regular deep slate? I know I didn't encounter any emerald ore along here, and probably not any lapis ore, and plus these are stone variants, not the deep slate variants. So that's the Boon of the Earth. There's a diamond block right there that I'm picking up now because of my magnet. Very interesting. That must be this Boon of Earth 5 enchantment. Wow. I knew it would give me some ores, but I just assumed that it would give me the raw ore, not the ore blocks. But I like this just as much, honestly. Well, in terms of the mob spawner, I think I can utilize this empty space that I have here. I am kind of running out of space in my little room up there. So I think it's time to just expand out and go a little bit outside the bounds of my house. I've been trying to stay within the bounds of my house, but I think we can utilize this for a mob spawner once I clear it all out. So, looks like I got a bit of work to do, and I'll come back in a little bit. All right, well, I have been digging out quite a bit, and I've got myself a little typical mob spawner chamber here. This block of cobblestone is where the spawner would go, and that makes it 4 blocks in every direction from the walls, making sure that the spawns will be fully contained within this block. And you know what? This was super easy to mine out with the new pickaxe. It's pretty amazing. I kind of went a little overboard, and you know what? I'll expand into this space later on, probably. I don't know. I will see. But you can have multiple spawners in here, clearly. I mean, the Blaze spawner had 3 spawners stacked on top of one another. And I don't know how many that I do have, but I feel like I have more than 3. Maybe like 5. Can we make 5 spawners in this spawn chamber? I think we can. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper, make a little bit more room. I think that sounds like the right thing to do. And if I can't end up using 5 of them, well, I'll just make do. There we go. Step 1. Laid out with vector plates and a mob masher in the corner. So I could just replace these with spawners as it is and let them go. But I know there's a lot more that can be done with those spawners. And well, I want to customize things just a little bit more. So let's go see what I've got in the way of spawners upstairs. Uh-huh. Yeah, a lot more than 5. You can silk touch these and get an active spawner, but if you use something else, then you get one of these broken spawners and maybe some spawner scrap. I'm not really sure. But I do also have some spawn eggs so that I could actually put in a skeleton or a creeper or a slime into one of these things. But what do I got? So I've got a sentry here. I think this came from the Aether, cave spider, silverfish, enderman, phantom, pillager, and four drowned spawners. Oh, and then 4 broken spawners too. But that's just the Ender IO spawners. The Apotheosis spawners, well, they have a lot more that they can do, and I think it's a little easier. So it's Apotheosis that says Silk Touch will let you pick it up, and then held in main hand, and we have right-click the spawner. Okay, so then we can add these different properties, and this is how the Blaze spawner introduces no AI onto the spawner and makes it safe. So we can keep modifying these things. Minus 10-second spawn delay. Babies if we want. I don't really want. Redstone control, so we can put some switches on there. Ignore players. Oof. Activation range bigger. So I think I'm going to take the spawners that I've got, swap out a few types based on the eggs that I have, and then modify them up and let's get them stuck into there. I'm not super worried about figuring out the XP part of it yet. I just like the idea of getting the spawners working first. So we'll be back in a few moments. All right, so it's time for more experiments with ozone because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I do know that if I fall in there, I'm going to die. So I got to be really, really careful. But first things first, I want this pillager spawner in there because, yeah, why not have some pillagers? I don't know whether the pillagers have a light level requirement. Okay, it seems not. Although, let's see. Does that help? Not really. It's pretty slow. But to be on the safe side, let's put this in the offhand and right-click the spawner. Oh, that did not do what I wanted it to. So let's see. Maybe it's because I was clicking. There. There. Who needs darkness? Just a few tweaks. Oh, wait. Why did it make husks? Now it's a husk spawner and not a pillager spawner. Well, that was weird. I want my pillager spawner back. I was looking for a source of emeralds. Okay. Well, let's try some spider eyes, because that is supposed to make it go faster. And if I hold control, so the delay, the min spawn delay is 180 if we keep doing it. Wait, now it changed it to zombies. Why did it change it to zombies? That's weird. I'm using a lot of these for spider eyes trying to get the delay down. But it's not really doing it. Might have to, struggling with this. Okay. So now the sugar should make it spawn more things, I think. Okay, no, the sugar is making the delay go down. The spider eye made the spawn count go up. Now the spawn count is 15. So that should really make a whole lot of zombies spawn. Yes, we're at the minimum spawn delay, and we're at the maximum spawn count. Okay. Well, we can keep adding things, but I really don't know why it changed. I mean, oh, now it's back to a husk. It doesn't make any sense. I want my pillager back. I mean, I guess I'll take it for what it is. I really wanted the XP for it, you know, and if I do that and just make enough of them, it'll have a lot of XP. But I'm a little frustrated about the lack of choices and how that got changed. If you happen to know, let me know in the comments down below because I'm a little confused. Now, wait a minute. It seems to be cycling between things because I just heard pillagers in here. Now it's back on husk. And now it's changed to zombie? What? Another wave of zombies. Are we going to change it back to pillagers at some point? No, now it's back to husk after that wave of zombies. And now we're back to zombies after that wave. What is going on? This doesn't make any sense at all. All right, I'm not quite done with this. I feel like trying something different. Okay, so this lever is going to power this spawner and these two blocks around it. So I think I'm going to put my skeleton spawner that I found in the oh my, see that? I broke 2 blocks further past that. Ah, the reach on this pick is incredible. Anyway, so this is the skeleton spawner that I found in the basement down below. So it says skeleton spawner, and it doesn't really seem to be changing. Now, if I apply this, no light, it's still a skeleton spawner. I just have to wonder, was this like some special kind of spawner that changes? Or does it change when I add things to it, right? That's the question. All right, so if I put the chorus fruit on there to make it no AI, because right now it ignores light. I put the chorus fruit on there, so now it says it's got no AI, so the skeletons aren't going to try to shoot at me or run away when they do spawn. Did that change it at all? Doesn't seem to have. All right, one of the other upgrades that I did to that other one was this blue wool, which makes it silent. So now if we look at it, it says silent, and when the mobs fall, you won't hear anything, which is freaky as all get out, honestly. I like it, but it's freaky. All right, but it's still a skeleton spawner. Now, I think it was the sugar that makes it spawn more entity, or no, it's the sugar that makes the min spawn delay go down. And that was maybe when it was changing. I'll just use up all this sugar to bring up the min spawn delay all the way down to 40. But it does still seem to be a skeleton spawner. I have no idea why this spawner is rotating between zombies, husks, and pillagers. Crazy. Well, this one definitely seems to be solidly in the skeleton and not changing. All right, redstone control added, and it seems to be still working. The max delay is still quite high, which is why I've got all these clocks here. Yep, still skeletons. Okay. Well, let's add these clocks and bring that delay. Wait, 740? Why is the delay at 740? Am I raising it? No, I'm lowering it, but oh my gosh. Well, clocks are kind of expensive. The other one had a delay of 400. Seems very, very different, but okay, there's 30 clocks going into this, bringing the delay down to 500. Wow. And it's still skeletons. Well, this one is just solidly a skeleton spawner, even if I do all the same stuff that I did to that one. It's just That one just rotates for some reason, and I have no idea why. That one we found in an ancient city. It had a chest underneath it, one of the looter chests. And so maybe it is special somehow because it's not normally a spawner in an ancient city like that. But oh well, you know what? I'm getting the experience, which is what I was after with this. And so yeah, we're just gonna keep on going with it and trying to fill it out. Well, I guess not all spawners are the same. So 800, 125, 800, 800, 120 for the drown, 800. So wow, the max spawn delay is different for most things. In fact, even the spawn count in the max entities is different based on the spawner. Very interesting. This could have been dangerous. The silverfish spawner has a spawn range of 7. That would have put it outside of my chamber if I'd used it. Most everything else has a spawn range of 4. Ooh, spawn range of 10? Wow. I could have been swarmed in drowns if I'd placed that. I'm glad I had a chance to look at these. And yeah, if you're doing this, you should too as well, I suppose. What I did find in looking at this is that if you use the item on the spawner, it adds the attribute to it. But later on, we'll see things like this that have nether quartz in the other hand. So in the main hand, you hold prismarine, and in your offhand, you hold nether quartz, and that takes away attributes. This one will reduce the activation range by 2, but if we use just prismarine, then it increases the activation range by 2. So you can fine tune both up and down these attributes. And I feels like that's going to be something that you really need to pay attention to when you're using this and putting together a spawning chamber like I've got down below. Well, one more thing that I want to try, because why not, is let's put this Enderman spawner in here and see what it does just as is. And that's nothing because of too much light, so let's activate it. Okay, well, they seem to be dying nicely. You know, we like that. Turn off the AI so that they don't... Oh, nope, there's one up there. But the main thing I really wanted to try is to change the type. So with a vanilla spawner, you have the spawn egg and you shift right-click on it. So does that do it? It changed it to a slime. Very, very nice. Let's make it faster. And yay, slimes are going now. Okay, well, you know, aside from the weirdness of that one, everything else seems to be working pretty flawlessly, honestly. All right, well, it's not perfect, but with everything activated, we're getting quite a bit of experience here, quite a lot of spawns. I definitely want to be decreasing the spawn times on these things so that they make more entities. But you know what? This is a good start. This is a really good start. Now, I got to figure out what to do with all of the drops because, you know, I am the collection system right here with my backpack. Everything's just getting picked up into my backpack. And well, while that's okay for right now, it's not what I want in the long term. I have to find some way to pick up all of the drops, sort out what I actually care about, and destroy everything else. But there are things like statues and backpacks that I do want to keep, and I really don't know what's going to be the best way to sort those out. But all in all, and so far, I'm pretty happy with the way this spawner has turned out. And yes, I have spaces for 2 more spawners that I could put in here if I just decide what I actually want. Like the phantom spawner. That's not going to work at all, so I could change that to maybe creeper, but it's going to take a little bit of finagling to make it work. So I'll be working on that in between episodes. Right now, like I said, it's loot pickup and experience pickup time. Let's figure that stuff out. Now, fortunately, this has already been done here at the Ender. It doesn't look much like a traditional Ender, but it does work. It's just a wee bit dangerous sometimes. Funny story about that. I was over here and somehow one of those Endermen that like lean their head all the way back and have the big glowy mouths. Yeah, like the end Enderman, the big ones. One of them got out onto this carpet area. I don't really know how. Everything should be more or less spawn safe here, and there's the vector plates all over the place, so I can only guess that it clipped through the window. Anyway, That guy came and attacked me as soon as I got close. Well, you know what happens when they attack you? You get randomly teleported somewhere just like you ate a chorus fruit. And of course, that put me inside the farm. Yeah. Which of course immediately brought me up to the mob grinder there and killed me. Like really quickly. So I'm always extra careful around here. Plus, there can be some of those little dragons flying around. And they don't go on the vector plates that well. So, yeah, it's not exactly perfectly safe. But what we can do is take a look at what has been done here already. And I see these things, these advanced item collectors attached to a few different things. And like one there. And then we've got a storage controller and some storage drawers. Well, that seems really easy for all of the bulk stuff. And I believe that this, well, this doesn't have any blacklists. So just being able to put it into the drawer seems to be enough. Now on this one, we've got a whitelist of certain items. Huh. It would seem like these shards of balance and stuff would probably be worth trying to keep. But no, it looks like any of these types of things that are picked up by the item collector are then fed into the trash can up there. What do we have on top of that? An absorption hopper. That absorbs fluid? XP fluid, huh? Well, I thought that's what this thing does. It's the Experience Obelisk, and this will store and pick up all of the experience points. And you can see it has 699 buckets of liquid experience. Now this guy, the experience fountain, gets paired with that, and when you step on it, it just dumps out the experience. So we got about 50 buckets worth of experience right there. And so that's what I plan to do in my mob farm. All right, well anyway, what do we got over here? We've got more drawers, and these are time-worn fragments and luminous crystal shards and a bunch of stuff that I don't really know what it is, but we've got this item collector that looks like it's picking up everything else that it can and then feeding it into the salvage table. That's a new one for me. It looks like a smithing table, but I'm guessing that this is going to pick up all of the gear, put it into here, and then the output is going to put all of the Apotheosis stuff. Is that Apotheosis? Yeah, okay. Apotheosis stuff into these drawers. And then we got the reforging table. That is an enchanter. Yeah, what would it do? Oh, this takes a regular old vanilla pick, or well, as close to vanilla as this is, and it adds sockets and extra stuff to it. Oh, very, very nice. And it looks like it takes 150 levels to do that. Well, that is beyond what I'm after here. I think the Experience Obelisk, the Experience Fountain, and then the Advanced Item Collector going into a set of drawers sounds like a pretty good start. And when we look at what the Cognition mod adds, it's actually not all that much. The basic thing that you need is this cognitive flux, which honestly isn't that hard to craft if you find a soul sand valley around. And so I've done that. Once you have the flux, you need to smelt it up in order to get this amalgam. And I've done quite a bit of that actually. And with that, then you can make the alloys. And it looks like this takes copper. The video that I watched said it took iron, but you know, that was a while ago and that makes sense. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and make up all that I can, which honestly isn't that much. Okay. Next up, we have a whole bunch of these special things like this assembly. Oh no. I expected everything needed the alloy, not, oh, now I got to make some more and resmelt it. Okay. Well, I mean, like a lot of mods, there's special things that you've got to make along the way. These astute assemblies, and I think then those are the two things that we need in order to make the obelisk. And this guy just needs an astute assembly and some redstone stuff. Okay, Well, looks like I got a little over aggressive with making up my material, so I'll come right back once I've actually made up more amalgamum. All right, that wasn't that bad. Back with a little bit more of this amalgam. Okay, amalgam. I've always heard it called amalgamum, but okay, amalgam. Anyway, back with a little bit of more of this stuff made up. I did also neglect to say that we also need one of these staff of attunements, and this is how you link things up. So we'll just pop that there. Boom, experience obelisk now, and experience fountain. Nice. Yeah, I've got plenty of extra. What else could I use? Well, just kind of go over what I know about this thing. This precision dispeller is basically a grindstone. It removes the enchantment from gear and then will store the experience in this experience obelisk, just like a mob would. So that's that. And then the enlightened amulet you can use in order to pick up experience in a wider range around where you are. But these things are not what I'm after with this set. And so now it's time to try to hook this guy up. And I really think that all I need is to put it up here. I can control the Y level of where it's working, and I've got a bunch of holes in the wall here so that I could see what's going on. I kind of like this better. And so right-clicking on the GUI doesn't necessarily start off with collecting the experience. It's about me depositing experience from my own experience levels into the experience obelisk, and I could take them out as well. So I just put 20 levels in and took 20 levels out. That's what it's intended for. But I believe that, yes, I can change the radius. Okay, 5-block radius may not be enough to get all the way down there. I guess we'll just have to try it out, flick some switches, and see what happens. Now, before I was picking up all of the experience, but now, no, now the experience is going into the obelisk. Great. That's all I need, really. That part right there. Very nice. Now the fountain I'm going to put right there in the middle of the floor, and I need to link these two up, and I've never done this before. I know we need our staff of attunement, so let's try and right-click. This block is not yet bound, okay? Obelisk position saved. Target bound. Great. And so I was just shift-clicking to do all of that. Fairly straightforward. Just a standard right-click changes the level at which the experience gets dispensed. Oh, very nice. I've got a setup for experience just like we've got at the Ender. That's all well and good, but items are also a big part of it. Now it's time to start working on the storage part of this, and one of the interesting things about this is that these drawers are not the same drawer mod that we'd been using with Vault Hunters, and I kind of assumed that it was. I just assumed there was only one drawer module. No, these are functional storage drawers. It's, I guess, similar to the sophisticated storage, maybe part of the same mod family. I'm not really sure. But that means everything's just a little bit different. But like the drawers that we're used to with Vault Hunters, we need a controller and then some drawers that are connected to it. Also, like the barrels here that I was using. Well, I think the first thing to start off with this here is putting down a demagnetizer. I've got a magnet, and I've been sucking everything up from the mob grinder down below, but this should, well, assuming I stand within this small box, this should make that not happen. We can make this a little bit bigger. Not as big as I had hoped. Might need a couple of these. All right, well, next up we start with the controller. And honestly, we could put this stuff in as part of the wall, but I think I'm going to just pop it on the ground right here because this advanced item collector needs to be attached to the side of it. Now I can toggle this, and we can see that the range is not quite down at the vector plates. So we need to increase the Y range by 1, but we can decrease the X and Z quite a bit until we're just in that small area right around the mob grinder. And that's where we're going to be picking things up. I mean, we're going to be picking things up a little bit outside and way up above, but that's just kind of the nature of this alignment. Next, we'll take all of the drawers and put them down here. Oops, I reached all the way back there. And what I found, and this is different than what I said before, is that they don't just simply have to be touching. You have to link the controller to each of the drawers, and they can be quite a ways away. So now that they are all linked up, it should be able to just insert things into the drawers. So let me go in my backpack from stuff that I've picked up before. Didn't actually get it into the range. Okay, let's try that again. I throw out some slime balls. It picked it all up and shoved it into a drawer. Very good. Now let's look at some of the other things we can pick up. How about these zombie hearts, the skeleton bones, the spider eyes, slime pearls, slime, that, and yeah, everything's going in there nicely. Very nice. Now at the moment when I turn this back on, it's going to just shove whatever it wants into these other slots because, well, they're not defined. I've got a lot of the things in here that I'm going to get a lot of, but these other things I haven't defined yet. So we're going to get mob heads and bows and quivers and other non-stackables over here. What I also want to do is put down a trash can. We can just throw this over here, put another one of these item collectors on it, but this time I want to have a whitelist on the trash can so that only certain things go into the trash can. I get a lot of these archaeology hats, so that is going to be one of the whitelisted items there. Now when I throw it out there, it's just gone. It went into the trash. All the archaeology hats, they're just gone. Very nice. Bows also. I think bows we don't want to have in there, but I think that this is going to match the NBT data. So let's test it out. This bow has different durability than that bow. If I throw them in there, no, it seems to have picked that up too. All right, bows, done. As much as I hate to do it, I think quivers also need to be voided into the trash because those skellies are just going to drop a lot of quivers. So we'll throw those out there. Oh, gone. Very nice. Well, I guess let's turn on the mob grinder, see what fills up here. And overall, so far, I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. And there we go. Things look like they're working really well. I've got one drawer here that has a lot of string in it, but it's not rendering the picture. And I don't really know why. I think things are pretty much going the way I want them to. I am picking up some miscellaneous things occasionally, and this demagnetizer seems to not work at all. I got some golden armor and some leggings and other helmets, right? So normal kind of stuff. But otherwise, we're not getting a lot of things here that are clogging up my inventory, which is great, you know? I can handle a few things. The trash can over here has its filter all completely full, so it looks like I'm going to have to make another one, but that's not really that big a deal. And I've got 600 buckets of experience in here, which I don't know how much that'll take, but that'll give me a lot of levels. So all around, yay, big success. I'm fairly happy with this, honestly. Well, as always, that is all the time we have for in this episode, though. I think it was quite productive, and I'm really happy with how things turned out. I also hope that you found this interesting and helpful. And if you did, well, please consider giving the video a like. I would really appreciate it. But with that being said, we'll see you all in the next video. Until then, remember, be excellent to each other. I'm out.